Oh, hi, Malcolm Nance. Good morning.
Good morning. You know you're old when you turn on the radio and the first thing you hear is about Jinx the cat and Pixie and Dixie.
Yes, sir.
All right, we
I'm
just
We're old.
I'm glad you got that reference. Thank you, Malcolm.
Says Jinx the cat with his little hat.
and
Yeah.
you are on audio only this morning because it's so cold there. It has frozen your internet. Solid.
It has frozen my video stream. Yeah, it's 17 degrees, but that's okay. We'll go to -6 next week for a couple of days.
Oh God.
You are scared of nothing but the cold. I understand. Okay.
No, I got nice coats. Mountaineering coats.
Yeah. So, this testimony yesterday on January 6th, I'm starting to feel some hope about justice coming, as our friend Glenn Kirshner would say. How are you feeling?
Well, here's the problem, is that I know that they're making a good faith effort into exposing all of these activities. I know that they are going to write a brilliant report which will get to the bottom of the truth. I know that they will call for people to be held accountable. But I'm going to be quite frank with you. The justice system runs slowly so that it can be accurate. And I'm sure Glenn has said that many times before. But the people that we're dealing with have already learned how to engineer the system.
Mhm.
They know they can run out the clock. They can get their lawyers to, block subpoenas, to take it all the way to the Supreme Court. I don't think anything's going to help. I think public, the public airing of prime time of the hearings will be great. It'll be fun television, but you got to understand something. We're talking with a news media that's already, they can't accept the lowest unemployment rate ever as good news.
That's right.
They can't accept anything because they need the drama. And many of them are quite addicted to Donald Trump, very addicted to Donald Trump. And understanding that, 50% of the electorate, which is 25% of the population, are very angry people who vote with their wallets.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that there's only one way we're going to get out of this hole. And that's through a massive, massive people action, starting with those hearings and leading up to November 2022, where we take 40 seats in the House. And we got to start thinking like that.
I saw you said that. I like the cut of your jib there, sir. You tweeted, "Don't defend the House. Let's counterattack the coup. Let's take 40 red states and seats and expand the Senate." I agree with you. I think this could be a huge wave. It really could. When you think about the amount of people that don't vote at all, I mean, if you're able to shout loud enough, and I believe that you can.
Yeah.
I am not following the media narrative that it is just a fait accompli that the Republicans are going to take back the House, Malcolm.
Well, I would just like the 81 million Americans that voted against Donald Trump to come out and vote.
Right.
I mean, and if now, since it's all down ticket voting, we could take back state houses. We could take back the House. We could expand the Senate. And we have to go into 2022 as if it's a presidential election. And here's another problem that I have. Those people who were the voting rights activists in the Black community in Georgia that wouldn't go to President Biden's hearing or his speech because they weren't getting enough action, handed the Republicans a win yesterday.
Yeah.
Right? All I kept hearing about was Joe Biden can't hold his coalition. Blacks are not congealing around him. You know what? The "what have you done for me lately" strategy is going to get us a Republican House, a Republican Senate. Donald Trump made as Speaker of the House, because Kevin McCarthy's not going to be voted back in. They have been saying out loud they're going to vote Trump in. And then Mitch McConnell out as Senate Majority Leader. And they're going to put, Ted Cruz or Ron Johnson or some idiot in, and then Trump will become president in 2024. Because we didn't get our little personal issue addressed in the year where almost 1 million Americans are dead.
Yeah.
I mean, people have to prioritize now. Stop with your whining and focus.
Yeah,
We're talking nothing less than the death of American democracy.
And that's why, Malcolm, as a terrorism expert, you must have at least been heartened yesterday that they kept saying it out loud. This DOJ official explained why January 6th, it's terrorism. This alternate reality where Ted Cruz has to go lick Tucker Carlson's boots for calling it a terrorist attack. I mean, can you explain to people as an expert how clearly January 6th was a terrorist attack?
Well, certainly the most commonly used definition of terrorism is an act of violence or threat of violence in which is political in nature, has political results, in which the audience is beyond the immediate victims, right? Mm-hmm. So when you blow up an airplane or crash one into a building, it's the spectacle that is the act of terrorism, not just the hijacking of airplanes and killing of passengers. The spectacle of taking that capital was intended to overthrow the American form of government. It is a violent act, right?
Yeah.
You saw it was violent. People died there. People, and I don't just mean Ashley Babbitt. One woman was trampled to death and then died subsequently of a heart attack. There were multiple heart attacks. Officers committed suicide from the trauma of having been there.
Yeah.
140 officers were injured. It was a violent attack.
And please, do you think Officer Sicknick would have had a stroke had he not been?
All of your listeners do this right now.
Yeah, I was just. Right. I wanted to. I just wanted to not ignore the officer.
Anyone says that in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, we've got a delay because of the audio, Malcolm. But I just wanted to get in that hang on a second. Hang on. This is Officer Sicknick. He should be included. It's just this whole that he died of natural causes. I'm sorry. Do you think he would have had a stroke had he not been beaten and bear sprayed for hours the day before? I mean, come on. So you're right. It is so offensive to say no one died because of January 6th. But go ahead.
Yeah. He died in the line of duty.
Yeah. No, exactly.
He died in the line of duty. Yeah. But what I was saying was the violence that was exhibited there was designed to topple our government. They fought tooth, nail, hammer. There's the one guy who had the axe with a nail sticking out, axe handle with nails sticking out of it, hammers. They came there to do battle. That is not a protest. That is not a riot.
Yeah.
They came with a political objective designed to impact every person in America, which was overthrow the government. Well, that counts.
Right.
That counts as terrorism. I wrote an op-ed in the Washington Post last year on January 17th, and I spelled out why we're having this debate. Because sometimes, certainly with these people, shaming is the only way that you're going to get their attention. And you see how upset they get about the word terrorism.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, it's time to use it everywhere.
Yep. And by the way, I am glad they are starting to smack down this ridiculous new theory that it was the FBI behind January 6th. The House committee formally debunked the right-wing conspiracy theory that January 6th protester Ray Epps was an FBI informant, which had been pushed as recently as hours earlier by Ted Cruz. Adam Kinzinger said, one more Ted Cruz conspiracy down. Ray Epps has cooperated and is nothing but a January 6th protest attendee. In his own words, sorry, crazies, it isn't true. I mean, this is how many, ways, times down the rabbit hole now that this is a Fedsurrection, right?
Yeah, okay. Then the Fed sent the other 40,000 people to the rally?
Yeah.
The Fed sent the 10,000 people who attacked the building? The Feds hired 2,000 crisis actors to pretend like they were Trump voters, carrying Trump flags, carrying Trump body armor, carrying Trump patches, wearing Trump hats to smash all the windows and get inside. Even if Ray Epps was an informant for the FBI, his failure would have been not informing the FBI that a terrorist attack was underway. Yeah. Those people did it themselves. And if it was Antifa and Black Lives Matter, why don't you want it investigated?
Yep. You
wanted to send them all to prison before. You don't want it done because right-wing extremists carried out a terrorist attack. So when any of your listeners get into this, don't debate these people. Just say, I'm sorry, you're stupid. You cannot even accept the reality of what you saw with your own eyes.
Yep.
You can't. But then again, they're like 9/11 truthers.
Yeah.
They deny what they know to be fundamentally true.
By the way, I loved your tweet to Jim Banks. You said, as a true and honorable Navy chief, I'm genetically programmed to seek out and chastise those supposed former loyal officers who openly support rebellion, sedition, and white nationalist terrorists. Jim Banks is from the Robert E. Lee School of Sedition. Yeah. Thank you it's just for calling it out for what it is. It's just, you're right. We're too, and you're right. The media is no help in both sidesing us right into autocracy, are they?
Right. And the problem is that the media understands that it's getting played, but they have to stick by the rules. So the other side plays them. Our role should be, as anyone who opposes this, is to call it out. Call it when you see it. And that's what I did. This guy was a commissioned officer in the United States Navy, and he backed sedition openly. Just like when Robert E. Lee was Commandant